We're here at the Great Provider restaurant in the stunning St Kilda Marina for the Cycling Victoria International Women's Day breakfast. It's a fabulous morning and we're very excited to be here. It's 2013 and the theme for International Women's Day is Agenda, gaining momentum, and it's so fitting that we've got the women's breakfast this morning. It was an early start, but that's normal for cyclists. They're used to getting out on the bike early in the mornings. We had a brief welcome and then went straight into it with the introduction of Monique Hanley, who's a board member and also the chief of the Women's Commission. And she told us all about what's been happening in the development of women's cycling in 2012.
Oh, this morning was fantastic. It was so great to be able to celebrate International Women's Day and have a cycling focus, and particularly recognise all the efforts that we've done in Victoria, not just us as Cycling Victoria, but all the women right across the state. So it was just great to sit down and really acknowledge all those efforts.
So after hearing from Monique Hanley and all the fabulous things going on with women's cycling, we went on to hear from Carol Cooke. She's such an inspirational woman, having been told that she would never walk again after being diagnosed with MS, but then just said, well, that's it, I'm going to go on and I'm not going to listen to any of these doctors and I'm going to defy the odds, and well, she did. So her story is just amazing, and here she is.
I was dumbfounded. I think when those words, "you will never do sport again," when he said those, you might as well cut my head off right then and there. To me, that was a death sentence, because I'd always been involved in sport growing up from the age of about 8. But had I not been who I was and not brought up the way I was, that could have possibly been the last day of my life. I just refused to believe this man. There was one other trike rider. He'd been racing for 3 years on his own, and he was so happy to have somebody else racing with him. And I beat him by half a tire width. The head coach, Peter Day from Queensland of Paracycling, came running up to me going, "Where the hell have you come from?" And I said, "Melbourne." And he goes, No, I need to talk to your coach. We'll keep talking. And I think the difference between the Olympics and the Paralympics is that all the Paralympian athletes are there to support one another. It's about the race. It's not about that elusive gold medal. The success for me, and I like to say it's taken me 35 years, 2 countries, 3 sports, but I actually got there. My motto is dare to face your fears and believe in yourself, and you can accomplish anything.
So now it's on to award time. The first award, the Women's Development Initiative Award, and that was presented to Cycle Grand Prix Rob Carson.
It's amazing. You don't sort of do these things for the recognition. And just having the women race the series is enough recognition itself. So to actually get an award for it is pretty special. So we created the series based on feedback from a lot of women who found some difficulty in getting involved in racing, who had really found some barriers in their development, and we took those on board, developed a series that would cater for both the new racer, the person just getting into the sport, as well as the women who are very much involved in racing already and are looking for something different to do.
The next award was for the Women of Change, and Liz Hall from the Hawthorn Cycling Club gained this award. She's done some fabulous work with the women and organised coaching sessions at the Boulevard in Kew and assisted in increasing racing there for the women, and it's been a massive increase in the amount of female riders that are part of the Hawthorn Cycling Club. The next Women of Change award was presented to Tina McCarthy, and she's from the Will Women and also part of the Breeze program. And Tina's been fabulous in assisting the novice women in developing skills and to be able to ride in a intimidating area and to provide support for females that are otherwise not supported and feel like it's a little bit too much for them to be able to get out on the bike and also ride with their kids. Hayley Ranieri was the 3rd recipient of the Women of Change Award, and she's provided many females in the Warragul region with loads of support, and since September 2012 there's been 85 new riders join the club, so she's been doing wonderful work with all the females at Warragul Cycling Club and also in the Warragul region. The pinnacle of the event was the Iris Dixon Woman of the Year award. Now, Iris Dixon, she's a wonderful person, 81-year-old female, but was a teenage sensation in the 1940s. Her husband did mention to her that it wouldn't be such a bad idea to get fit after having her second child. So she got back on the bike and won many, many awards. And this is why Iris Dixon Woman of the Year award has been given. And today it was presented to Galen Snelling from the St Kilda Cycling Club. She is the director of the women's cycling at St Kilda Cycling Club, has provided so much support for females across every aspect of cycling, whether it's criterium racing, team racing, a whole lot of aspects, and she's been involved for the last several years and been such an integral part of cycling for St Kilda Cycling Club. So there you have it. What a wonderful morning was had. We heard from Cooke and her wonderful achievement in 2012 at the Paralympic Games, but also before that when she was told she'll never walk again and then gone on to be a rower and a cyclist as well. So she was just such an inspiring woman. And also the generation before with Iris Dixon. She's now in her 80s and still rides 3 times a week on the track, and she was such a phenomenon in the 1940s, and great to see her still rocking along. And so that's it for the International Women's Day breakfast for Cycling Victoria. We hope to see you next year and look forward to seeing all the wonderful achievements made by women throughout 2013.